smart already. He don't cry.
Yes, he ain't cried yet,
He's
y'all.
about to eat.
Eating real good.
Hi.
The internet did not just wake up and choose peace. It chose chaos, confusion, and straight-up conspiracy mode the moment Chrisean rock started trending for something that sounds like it came straight out of a low-budget thriller movie. And no, we're not talking about a messy tweet or another viral argument. We're talking about fans claiming she hid her own child like some secret plot twist nobody saw coming. Because suddenly, timelines weren't making sense, clips started resurfacing, and people online turned into full FBI agents overnight, zooming into walls, analyzing shadows, and connecting dots like they're starring in their own Netflix docuseries. And the wildest part, the theory wasn't just messy, it was specific, detailed, and just believable enough to make everyone pause mid-scroll and say, wait, hold on. People started asking questions that hit way harder than usual internet drama. Why were certain moments edited weirdly? Why did some videos feel off? And why were fans convinced that Chrisean Jr. wasn't being shown the way people expected? That's when the rumor dropped like a bomb allegedly. She kept him hidden to avoid getting caught. Now listen. The internet loves a good exaggeration, but this turned into a full-blown meltdown faster than a celebrity apology video with comments turned off. TikTok detectives, Twitter threads, YouTube breakdowns, everybody had a theory. And nobody was agreeing on anything except one thing. Something felt strange, and just when people thought it couldn't get more chaotic, old clips started resurfacing. New reactions started pouring in. And suddenly, even fans who were defending her began side-eyeing the situation like, wait, are we missing something? Because if this was just another rumor, it should have died quickly. But instead, it kept growing. Now let's rewind this whole situation back to where the chaos actually started. Because this didn't just pop out of nowhere like a random TikTok rumor, this built up slowly, piece by piece, until the internet basically snapped. When Chrisean Rock first became a mom, the attention was already intense, like cameras on you 24/7 type pressure where every move gets analyzed. Fans were watching everything from how she held the baby to how often she posted, and the commentary? Oh, it was loud from day one. At first, it looked like the usual celebrity motherhood spotlight, messy but normal for someone living their life online. But then people started noticing small details that didn't quite match the picture she was painting publicly. Certain clips felt cut too short, certain angles looked restricted, and some fans began asking why Chrisean Jr. wasn't being shown clearly in moments where you'd expect it. Now normally, that would have been brushed off as privacy because let's be real, not every celebrity wants their child fully exposed online. But this situation didn't feel like privacy to some viewers. It felt like something was being deliberately hidden. And that's where things started to spiral. Because once the internet gets a something is off feeling, it doesn't let go. It digs dots soon enough. TikTok detectives started posting slow-motion breakdowns, zooming into backgrounds like they were solving a crime scene. People pointed out odd shadows, weird framing choices, and moments where it looked like the baby was being kept out of direct view. And then came the comments, thousands of them, each more suspicious than the last. Some fans defended her hard, saying people were reaching, that it's her child and she can show whatever she wants. But others, they weren't convinced at all. They started connecting clips together, creating timelines, and suddenly the narrative shifted from she's being private to wait, is she hiding something? And that's when the rumor dropped that sent everything into overdrive. The claim wasn't vague, it was bold, dramatic, and honestly sounded like something out of a reality show gone completely off script. People began saying she allegedly kept Chrisean Jr. in a hidden spot to avoid attention or scrutiny. Now whether that claim had proof or not didn't even matter at that point. Because once a theory like that hits social media, it spreads like wildfire. You had reaction videos popping up every second, influencers jumping in for views, and entire comment sections turning into debates that looked like courtroom arguments. It wasn't just gossip anymore, it became a full-blown online investigation. Meanwhile, older videos of Chrisean started resurfacing, and suddenly people were rewatching everything with a different mindset. Moments that once seemed harmless were now being questioned, reinterpreted, and turned into evidence by people who were convinced they cracked the case. And honestly, some of those clips, they did look a little strange when you viewed them through that lens. But here's where it gets even messier. The more people talked, the more the story kept evolving. Some said it was about avoiding criticism. Others claimed it was about keeping control over what the public sees. And a few even turned it into something way darker than it probably needed to be. And through all of this, one thing became clear: the narrative was no longer in Chrisean's control. Because once the internet creates its own storyline, it runs with it like a Netflix series that refuses to end. And every new clip, every new reaction just added fuel to the fire. At this point, fans weren't just watching anymore, they were invested. They wanted answers, explanations, clarity, something that would either confirm or shut down the rumors for good. But instead of getting that, they got silence, confusion, and even more questions. And that silence, yeah, it didn't help at all. Because instead of calming things down, it made people even more suspicious. It gave the internet space to create its own conclusions. And let's be honest, those conclusions were getting wilder by the minute. But just when people thought they had already reached peak chaos, something else happened that pushed this situation into a whole different level of drama. Because the reactions that started coming in next, they didn't just question her. And just when the internet thought it had already squeezed every drop of drama out of this situation, it somehow got even louder, messier, and 10 times more chaotic. Because now it wasn't just random fans speculating anymore. This whole thing started turning into a full-blown digital battlefield where everybody had something to say. Suddenly, reaction channels, gossip pages, and even casual viewers who normally stay quiet jumped right into the madness. Every platform looked like a comment war zone, with people arguing back and forth like it was the finals of a debate competition nobody signed up for. And the craziest part, both sides sounded completely convinced they were right. On one side, you had supporters of Chrisean Rock saying this was nothing but exaggerated nonsense. They argued that people were overanalyzing clips, twisting normal behavior into something suspicious, and basically turning motherhood into a conspiracy theory for entertainment. To them, this wasn't exposed. It was just another example of the internet doing way too much. But on the other side, oh, they were not backing down. These fans were building entire theories like they were writing scripts for a crime documentary, connecting clips, timelines, and reactions into one big narrative. And every time someone tried to debunk it, they came back with even more evidence that made the situation look even more questionable. At this point, it didn't even feel like celebrity gossip anymore. It felt like a crossover episode between reality TV, courtroom drama, and a WWE backstage fight where nobody knows who's actually telling the truth. Memes started flooding timelines, and let's be real, some of them were brutal. People were comparing the situation to everything from secret Marvel plot twists to Kardashian's level PR chaos. One viral comment literally said, "This feels like a hidden episode we weren't supposed to see," and that pretty much summed up the entire mood online. Because the more people joked about it, the more it kept spreading. And then came the influencers. You know, the ones who jump into trending topics faster than notifications can refresh. They started breaking it down, reacting to clips, and adding their own opinions, some serious, some clearly chasing views, and some just straight up messy for no reason. Every new video added another layer to the confusion. One creator would say the theory made no sense, while the next one would claim it all clicked after seeing a specific clip. So instead of clarity, the audience got mixed signals that made everything feel even more chaotic. Meanwhile, fans started rewatching Chrisean's past content like it was evidence footage. Moments that were once ignored were now being dissected frame by frame, with people pausing, zooming, and pointing out things that may or may not have meant anything at all. And once again, that same question kept coming back. Why does this feel off? Now here's where things took a dramatic turn. Some people began dragging other names into the conversation, bringing up past drama, relationships, and old controversies as if they were somehow connected to this situation. And just like that, what started as one rumor turned into a full-blown spiral of unrelated chaos being thrown into the mix. It was giving Marvel multiverse energy, where every storyline somehow connects whether it makes sense or not. And honestly, the internet loves doing that, turning one issue into 10 just for the sake of keeping the drama alive. Because once attention is locked in, nobody wants to let it go. At the same time, others started calling out the entire conversation itself. They questioned why people were so quick to jump to extreme conclusions and whether. This was just another case of social media turning speculation into truth without real proof. But those voices, they were getting drowned out by the louder, more dramatic narratives. Because let's be honest, drama spreads faster than logic every single time. And the more this situation trended, the more pressure started building. Not just on Chrisean, but on the entire situation as a whole. Because now people weren't just watching, they were waiting for a response, a reaction, or anything that would finally address what everyone was talking about. But instead of clear answers, the silence continued. And that silence, it was starting to feel louder than anything else. Because now people weren't just questioning the rumor anymore. They were questioning everything surrounding it. And just like that, the situation hit its peak, the kind of peak where everything feels like it's about to either completely collapse or explode into something even bigger. Because now, the internet wasn't just reacting anymore, it was expecting something. Like a final episode where all the answers finally drop. But instead of clarity, things somehow got even more complicated. The silence from Chrisean Rock started turning into its own storyline. At first, people thought maybe she was ignoring the noise, staying above the drama, letting the internet tire itself out like it usually does. But when days passed and the conversations kept getting louder, that silence began to feel less like confidence and more like mystery. Because now fans weren't just asking, is this true? They were asking, why isn't this being addressed? And that question, it carried way more weight than the rumor itself. Some supporters doubled down, saying she doesn't owe anyone an explanation and that social media isn't entitled to every detail of her life. They argued that the entire narrative was built on assumptions, edits, and overthinking from people who don't actually know what's happening behind the scenes. And honestly, that perspective made sense to a lot of people. But at the same time, critics weren't letting it slide. They claimed that if everything was normal, it would have been easy to shut the rumors down with one clear response. Instead, the lack of clarity kept feeding the speculation, turning simple questions into full-blown theories that refused to disappear. And then came the emotional fallout. Fans who once supported her without hesitation started feeling confused, unsure, and even a little divided. Some stayed loyal, others stepped back, and a few completely switched sides, saying the situation didn't sit right with them anymore. It was giving season finale energy, the kind where alliances shift, opinions change, and nobody really knows who to trust. Because in the middle of all this noise, one thing became obvious. The story wasn't just about a rumor anymore. It was about perception, control, and how quickly public opinion can flip. Meanwhile, the internet kept doing what it does best, turning moments into narratives and narratives into long-lasting reputations. Every clip, every comment, every reaction added another layer to how people were viewing her, whether it was fair or not. And once that perception starts forming, it's almost impossible to fully control it again. What made this even more intense was how unpredictable everything felt. No official statement, no clear resolution, just a constant loop of questions and reactions that kept the situation alive longer than anyone expected. And in today's internet culture, that kind of unresolved drama doesn't fade, it evolves. Some people started predicting that this would eventually blow over. Just another viral moment that gets replaced by the next trending topic. But others believed this was bigger than that, something that could stick around and affect how she's viewed moving forward. Because once doubt enters the conversation, it doesn't leave easily. And then, just when it felt like the story was starting to slow down, new discussions began popping up again, bringing everything right back to the surface. Not because of new evidence, but because people simply weren't done talking about it. That's the thing about internet chaos, it doesn't need closure to survive. It feeds off curiosity, confusion, and the constant need for what happens next. And in this case, there was still no clear ending in sight. So now we're left with a situation that feels unfinished. Like a season finale that cuts to black right before the biggest reveal. No confirmed answers, no solid proof, just a mix of opinions, reactions, and a storyline that refuses to settle. And maybe that's what makes it so powerful. Because whether people believe the rumors or not, they're still watching, still talking, still waiting for that one moment, that one statement, that one piece of clarity that could either shut everything down or blow the entire situation wide open again. So at this point, what are we really looking at here? Is this just another internet overreaction that spiraled way out of control? Or is this one of those stories where the truth is sitting right in front of us but nobody can fully prove it yet? Because let's be real, the internet doesn't just create chaos for no reason. But it also doesn't exactly wait for facts either. And that's exactly why this situation feels so wild. You've got one side saying everything is exaggerated, the other side acting like they just uncovered the biggest mystery of the year. And somewhere in the middle, the truth is just chilling, unbothered, refusing to show itself. Meanwhile, we're all just sitting here refreshing timelines like it's our full-time job. But I need to know what you think. Do you believe these claims are just another viral stretch? Or do you think there's actually something deeper going on that people haven't fully figured out yet? Because the comment section right now, oh, it's about to turn into a whole courtroom. And I already know the arguments are gonna be loud. So go ahead. Drop your opinion, defend your side, or expose what you think is really happening, but don't just sit there silently scrolling like you're innocent in all this drama. We're all part of this chaos now, whether we like it or not. And while you're at it, make sure you smash that like button like it owes you money. Because clearly this story is not done causing problems anytime soon. Subscribe if you're ready for more unfiltered, chaotic, internet-breaking drama, because trust me, if this situation takes another twist, you already know we're gonna be right here breaking it all down. Hit that bell so you don't miss the next update. Because the way things are going, yeah, this might just be the beginning of something even bigger. And remember, in a world where the internet decides the narrative before the facts even show up, staying informed isn't optional, it's survival. This is celeb insanity. And the chaos, it's just getting started. Just getting started.